that will foster of an employee with the organization or an employee or between with the management. So now, first of all, we have to talk about types of interviews. I'm sure many of you have faced quite a number of interviews. So anyone who wants to just let me know which is the most preferred interview. There are types of interview. Any preferred interview that you think is mostly used in any interview process? Forum is open to all. Anybody can answer that.
Panel interviews.
Panel interviews, exactly. Thank you.
Panel
So,
interview.
panel interviews, thank you. So we have one-to-one interviews. Basically, if I say in a layman language, when you hire a driver or your maid, you have one-to-one interview with them, where a face-to-face interview is happening with a single interviewer. Basically, it is done for small businesses, or you can say traditional office settings. It is suitable for certain role where your personal interaction is involved. So it can be for customer service, it can be for sales, where you need to interact with a person. This type of interview, that is face to face interviews, you say, or you say one to one interview, is the most suitable interview. Then, as you all have mentioned, panel interviews. So if you see panel interviews, you will see it is one versus many. So one is interviewee and many are interviewers. So they are sitting across the table and a group of people will ask different set of questions that will give them an insight about your skills, experience and personality. So when a group of people interview you, generally it happens in big organization, corporate sector, you can say. For government positions, like if you have seen the main interview of IAS, IFS or any civil services or any type of government position, you have to undergo a panel interview. And thirdly, for any job position that is related to academics, whether you are applying as a professor, a teacher, a lecturer, principal, you have to face a panel interview. It is effective because you have to undergo a managerial role there. You have to take a managerial role there. And for that, they need a deep insight about your skills, about your personality. That's why different set of people ask different type of questions to you. So these are two. Now, post-COVID scenario has changed. Now comes phone interviews in picture. Though they were used initially before COVID as well, but post-COVID, now the work from home option is open to all. And work from home option for this, they don't call you in person. Generally, they go through a telephonic interviews or for initial screening. Like if I apply in a school that is a residential school and I want to apply for a position of a coordinator or so. So the initial screening will be done through telephonic interview where they will scrutinize from 10 to 12 people or 50 to 60 people whom to call for in-person or face-to-face interview or panel interviews. So basically it is conducted over phone and this is very much used for remote job applicants who are not living in that particular city where the opening is for this particular job, or it is used for initial screening. Basically, this type of interview is very famous in technical expertise, like where you have to work, you have to be tech savvy, or it requires it can be a Java developer, it can be any programmer or something where they can ask these type of interviews. For customer support, because customer support is basically done on phone, so they want to check the tonality of your voice, they want to check the pitch of your voice, they want to understand how good you are in handling situations if thrown at you on the spot. Next come is your videos. This is the most in thing, and we all have gone through this during COVID times. It is done either through Zoom or Skype or Google Meet. And it is very much used where international candidates are involved, or you can say for remote work, that is work from home options, those who ever give. So generally video interviews are conducted. And now people, even the interviewee and the interviewer are so accustomed to the new setting, they don't want to hassle the person, and they prefer doing video interviews. Basically, this is ideal for remote work, or you can say global job markets. These type of interviews work. But for every interview, you need to prepare yourself. And to prepare yourself, you have to undergo through a typical preparation. And especially in today's era, in digitalized era, where plethora of information is available at every nook and corner, you can prepare and you should prepare to show your general, or you can say your genuine interest or enthusiasm for a particular position you have applied for. So if you have applied for any position in a company, in a private sector, so let's take an example of a corporate sector, or you can take an example of a college. Please research the history of that college when it was set up, research their values, research their culture, and any recent update or any major shuffle or anything new that has happened in that institution or in that company, you must be updated about the same. Secondly, you will get to research about the role that you have applied for. What are the responsibility attached to it? What are the charter of duties for it? And what are the requirements? Are your is your experience, or your skills, or your academic qualifications are aligned with the job role that you have applied for? Second, understand the job description. Match your skill and experience to the job requirement. Your skills should and experience should support the job requirement. They should not be an alternative to it, or they should not be opposite to it. So you have to identify the key qualifications. What are the qualifications attached to it? What are the responsibilities that I'm expected to do if I take up this job? Do your homework properly. Then you have to prepare. These days, practice, and more practice will give you. It will be a cakewalk for you when you'll go, or it will get you sail through. So prepare for the most common questions. Though it's the most cliche questions, tell us about yourself. Still, till date, this is the first question you will get to hear wherever, whichever stream, whichever sector you are applying. This is the first question that will be thrown at you. Tell us about yourself. Please prepare for it. And the last question also, why should we hire you? These two questions, the most cliche questions, will be asked in every interview. So just prepare a very good response to it, a good answer that sums up your personality as well as your experience. Second is, for these days, we have to answer behavioral questions. Earlier, it used to be group discussions or a main interview happening. But now, behavioral question, where situational questions are asked to you, has also taken a major part of the interview process. So use STAR method. I will take you through the STAR method in the slides coming up ahead. But just let me give you a short info about it. STAR is S stands for situation, T stands for task, A stands for action, and R stands for result. So these four things: what situation you were in, what was the task assigned to you, what action you took, and what was the outcome of it, your action. So this is a STAR method used to answer behavioral questions whenever asked to you. Now comes your confidence. Earlier, it used to be the smile, wear your smile, but now it's equally important to wear your confidence as well. Because most of the time, as we all know, half of the world is faking confidence. So they are looking for genuine confidence. And you have to prep yourself for that confidence also. Because in situation where interviews are happening, you tend to be a little anxious or perplexed, or a little nervousness comes up. So you have to sound confident, you have to feel confident. So just prepare it. Mock interviews. The best way to handle your nervousness is go for mock interviews with your friends, with your colleagues, with even with your family members, so that you have a hands-on experience of the interview environment and you have gone through it once, even in a casual manner, but you have just felt a little something about it. Then review common questions. Like I gave you the most cliche question, tell us about yourself. Review these and practice responses. Just don't assume, okay, these questions I'm just preparing answer in my mind. No, stand in front of the mirror, stand in front of your friend, stand in front of somebody and practice your responses. Am I sounding confident? Am I sounding genuine? That is the key. Then you must research the company so that you are at ease. If some random question is asked by the person, you are in a position to answer something. If one fine day, okay, tomorrow is my interview, I just got a call yesterday, and you just get up and go, and you are not even aware whether it's an autonomous organization, it is affiliated to something, it's a multinational company, or it's a local company, it's a startup or something, you have to do your research so that you are at ease. Then comes the attire. Attire is very important. If you look good, then you feel good and definitely you sound good. So these days, how you look is very important. You all have been on Instagram, FB, LinkedIn, everywhere. How you dress up speaks volumes about you. So please make sure whether you are giving interview to a company in a company where casual setup is there or it's a formal setup, you need to check this. Research comes in place here. So it should not be like you are the one who is wearing a denim with a checkered shirt, and when you reach there, you see everybody with prim and proper, with tie, coat, everything, and then you have that wardrobe related stress. To avoid that, do your homework. So look good, feel good, and you will definitely sound good. Now you need to practice, 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 practice more, more, and more. Simulate, have a feel of the environment to gain confidence and reduce anxiety. And if you see somebody is giving you a feedback, okay, you need to brush it up, please take it seriously, brush it up. Refine, rephrase, paraphrase your answers and your communication style as well. Take the feedback positively. If the feedback is constructive, it will definitely stimulate your growth. So you have to take it seriously. Next come is the breakup process of interview. So it is done in three parts: what is seen, what is heard, and what is said. All three parts are the major three portions of the interview process. Whatever you are saying, you are not judged on the basis of only your professional knowledge. Your personality plays a role, your non-verbal communication, your verbal communication, everything is minutely scrutinized, because these days when we have AI, you have to do work of 5 people. So they want to hire you for a job where you have to be a vibrant personality. So the interview breakup is here for you. What is seen? So basically, they try to see what they, from the interviewer's eye, what they want to see is whether you are organized or not. And how they will judge whether you are an organized person or not? They'll judge it through your outfit. Are you comfortable and feeling confident in the dress that you are wearing? How you're communicating through your body? What is your body language? Are you wearing your smile, or you are all the time in a sulking or nervous or anxious or agitated all the time? And all these things, they give a glimpse of your background, from which family are you. Okay, thank you. So background, it also tells us about your background. Now second part, what is heard? They want to listen whether you are prepared or not. If you are prepared, well and good. If you are not prepared, you will be shown the door. So prepare yourself. Number one, सबसे पहले you will do company research. Number two, you need to understand the role. If it is a Java developer, then and you are an HR person, You have to see, is my thing aligning with it? For example, they have asked a trainer who has to have 5 years of experience, and you are a fresher, or you have 20 years of experience. Please avoid. So they want to see your homework, whether you have taken the job profile seriously, whether you are taking the interview seriously or not. So they want to understand the role as well. I have mentioned you use star examples to show that you are prepared by answering behavioral questions the way they need to be answered. Last, what is said? What you say. They want a genuine person. They want a truthful person. So if you say, for example, I'm feeling thirsty, can I have a glass of water? That shows that you are genuine, because during interviews, we all face this anxiety. We all blabber, we all fumble. हम ये सब चीजें करते हैं. So basically, they want to see how truthful you are. So you can ask for a glass of water, or you can refer your notes if some technical part is there, or you can say, okay, I have prepared notes for your company. I have marked your vision. I have marked your goals. So they see that, okay, this person has done some hard work to come here. And most important, please be genuine and prepare for questions that will be asked. Now, next come is etiquette. Etiquettes, everybody wants to look good. Just go on a YouTube short or an Instagram and you will get a glimpse. Everybody is looking so beautiful. Everybody is so well dressed. Everybody is speaking so perfectly. So, in that world, when you go for an interview, you have to match the standards. You just can't walk in one fine day. Okay, yesterday I got a call, I'm selected for the interview, and I have just come. And you cannot come as per your convenience. Two things that are judged in an etiquette is punctuality and how professional you are. Your professionalism should be oozing out from every word that you say. So the moment you open that door, that guard one person is standing, the moment you enter that door, from there till the time you exit that door, you are minutely observed. So first thing first, punctuality. Arrive early. Don't be an early bird. If the interview is scheduled for 9 o'clock, no need to reach at 7:30. You can reach at 8:30. But if you are traveling from a distance like 2 hours distance or more than an hour distance, and you know that's a bottleneck area or something like that, please keep the buffer time. Reach beforehand. Respect interviewers' time. If you are not able to reach, give a call, drop a message, send an email. Or if you are stuck somewhere, genuinely, still apprise the reception area or the person who is involved for the interview that I'll be reaching late. Please shift my name from number 4th to 20th or whatever it is. But one thing you need to avoid is lame excuses. Please don't give any lame excuses. Okay, somebody met with an accident, ambulance was there, my tire got punctured, or these. Everybody can make out, and these are very obsolete excuses. Look for a new one, but I'll suggest please avoid any lame. Next comes professionalism. Treat everyone with respect. The moment the guard person, the bhaiya that is standing there on the gate, and he opens and you are not saying thank you are ignoring him and you are making an expression to him, kya types expression? Obviously, that speaks about your personality. So treat everyone with respect. Use apt language. Your language has to be clear, concise, and if you are in India, please speak in language that is mostly spoken by people. Even if it is English, it has to be Indian English. Don't try to put any slang here. ASAP, YOLO, or any other slang, or any such thing where it is understood. These days we are hearing, and you are like, at least speak the full word or speak a sentence. Don't let the person guess. If you are having a conversation with another interviewee sitting next to you or somebody, before entering the room, please turn off your phone or put it on silent. And whenever you are coming for an interview, Irrespective whether they ask or not, please bring an extra copy of the resume and the documents that are related to that job. It can be in your experience letter or a reference letter. Even if they haven't asked, maybe generally during, I have faced this because I have given, like in my 12 years of experience, if I say I have given not less than 8 to 9 times interview, or randomly also I apply for positions and I give an interview just to see the insight how it is done these days. So they ask, okay, can we have another copy if you are carrying? So you should be prepared for it. Next is 12-12-12 rule. It is from the eyes of the interviewer, what they see. So the 12, the moment you knock at the door and say, may I come in, sir, to the moment you exit from that door, the first thing that they notice is when you are standing, generally the room length or breadth is 12 feet. So the first thing is 12 feet. That's your first impression. That's the first impression the interviewer will have about you. So, what is the first thing they will see? Attire, clothing. What are you wearing? From top, it always goes from top to bottom. So, your face, then your clothing, and then your shoes. Shoes plays a major role. If you are wearing formal trouser, please don't wear those Pinocchio trouser shoes. Don't wear those pointed shoes. Make sure your color of shoes and your attire is in sync. It should not be so out of the place that they have to literally assume from where this person is coming and from where this person has bought these shoes. So your shoes is the second thing. Third is your personality. Are you comfortable in the attire that you are wearing? Are you able to carry it off well? Is it suiting you? For example, don't wear a slim shirt. For men, I'm telling you, if you are a little heavy towards your abdomen area. Same goes with females. If you are a little heavy, try to camouflage your weak areas. Don't highlight them to be in fashion. Then your appearance. Is your appearance pleasant? Are you pleasant to look at? Is professional? It is matching with our company standards. Then is your 12 inch. The moment you come and sit across the table, that's the 12-inch thing that will give an observation, and they will observe. Interviewer is going to observe you minutely here. First thing first, personal hygiene. Nails have to be trimmed. They have to be clean. They should not have stain marks or not unnecessary cuts that are not looked after. Then your confidence, because generally when we sit we try to, don't crack your fingers or don't rub your hands or don't just be very stiff. That's the confidence that is visible from 12 inch. Smile. Your smile speaks volume. Then is your odor, whether it's your mouth, dental hygiene, or your body odor. Both speaks. So from 12 inch, the person can make out whether this person is into self care or not, whether he is looking after himself or not. Then comes the 12 rule, words, communication. The first 12 words that you are going to speak is your communication. So be very mindful of the first 12 words that you are going to speak, because they should not reflect nervousness. They should reflect your language style. If you are if you are speaking in accented English, basically I'm talking about regional accent. If you hear English that is spoken in Punjab is very much different that is spoken in down south, or that is very much different what is spoken in Gujarat to what is spoken in eastern states. So your accent, avoid your regional accent. Try to be a general, normal Indian English. If there is a regional accent, obviously it will be reflected, but not should not be in your 12 words. Then clarity. Your speech should be clear. It should be audible, and it should be the person should be able to understand it. First of all, don't be very high pitch or not be very low pitch, or at least they clear words. They should not assume, okay, what he said. It should not be like that. So the 12-12-12 rule is what is the first impression that interviewer is going to have about you. Next come style and sophistication should go hand in hand. You are not going for a social evening, you are not going for a party, you are not going for a lunch date, you are not going for a casual chit chat with friends. So please be mindful of what you are wearing for an interview. Your attire, that is your clothing, and your grooming, that is personal hygiene. Basically, attire is clothing and grooming is your personal hygiene. So dress professionally. For girls, it can be a trouser or a blazer, or it can be a sari also. And for men, it has to be a combination, light shirt with dark trouser or dark shirt with light trouser, or it can be a business attire like a suit thing. Then match your clothing with the company culture. You should not be off out of the place. For example, it's a very casual chit chat. Like once I remember, I went for an interview. The person who was interviewing me, he was in shorts and loafers, and I was in my prim proper professional attire because I didn't check. It was a startup. It was their first or second month, and the professional culture didn't hasn't stepped. So this is the research that we need to do, whether it's a formal attire they want or a casual attire they want. But in both the cases, you have to avoid loud, flashy, blingy. Please avoid all the blinks, avoid all the flashy color, neon pink, neon green, neon yellow. Please, they don't work. Avoid being wearing very loud prints. Stay neutral, stay basic tones, stay go for pastel tones. Coming to grooming, maintain a neat and clean appearance. It should not be like as if you are coming from a storm. Your hair should be cut, trimmed, nails should be trimmed. Wear minimal jewelry. You should not be wearing five fancy fingers where skull is made or some. These days, you get very fancy and very offbeat rings. Or you should not be wearing, okay, two chains or three bracelets or something. Please, it is against the professional grooming standards. Then comes your body odor or your mouth odor, fresh breath. You should genuinely brush your teeth, or you should use a mouthwash. And if you're wearing a cologne or a perfume, please make sure the fragrance, the scent has to be subtle. It should not be overpowering. The moment you go and sit at 12 inches and the person is like, oh my God, I'm having a headache. It should not be like that. Then this is the general professional attire for men and women. Necktie, preferably silk, dark shoes, dark socks, no black shoes with white socks. Haircut, short. It does the best for interviews. No beards. And if you're wearing a wedding ring, just one ring. No fancy rings. No earrings for men, especially. No chains, no bracelets for men. For women, you can wear a suit with a blazer, or you should wear shoes with conservative heels rather than going for those stilettos or pointed heels. Please avoid that. If you're carrying a bag, it should not be flashy, it should not be very casual, it should be a neutral tone bag. And nail polish, make sure it is either in a neutral tone or it's a clear nail paint. Minimal makeup, no flashy makeup, no over the top makeup. And if you are fond of wearing rings, just one ring in each hand. And same goes with one set of earrings. Rather than putting 5 earrings here, please avoid that. Next, the most important question, how to introduce yourself. This is the first thing that you have to do. Please say good morning or good afternoon. Be mindful about the time, whether it's noon, it's morning, it's afternoon, it's evening. Please be very mindful. Then you can say, my name is, for example, I'll take my name is Seema Malik, and I want to thank you for this opportunity. So this is the first 12 words that I'll speak. Or good afternoon, I am Seema Malik, and thank you for taking me into consideration for this position. Or I can say, hello, it's a pleasure to meet you. I look forward to discussing how my skills can be a great fit for the position. Or I'll say, good afternoon, I really appreciate that you considered me for this role. But a big no for 3 things. You will never say, this is Seema. Or you will never say, myself Seema. Or you will never say Neha this side. Recently, there was a movie, Rocky and Rani, where Rocky Randhawa came and introduced himself saying Rocky Randhawa this side, and prompt reply from Malia Bhatt, and what will you become when you will come this side? So please be grammatically correct. So if I'll say this is Neha, basically this is used for things. Secondly, myself Neha, अगर आप इसको literal meaning करेंगे, मैं खुद सीमा, that's again a wrong, and Neha this side. Your name doesn't change by changing sides. So please avoid using these three ways. Now I have a short video where a person is introducing himself, and that person is okay. I'll just play this video.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be interviewed for this position with your company today. My name is Richard, and I would describe myself as an industrious worker and somebody who already has the skills and qualities to match the job description. So over the years, I've worked in various roles where the need to collaborate closely with other people was the norm. I also have the academic background to be able to add value in this position and contribute to your team really quickly. I believe I am a high achiever, and I've always received positive feedback from my managers and supervisors in previous roles. And if you hire me, I will be the type of worker who will always go above and beyond what is expected in my work. I will always embrace change positively, and I will make sure you see a positive return on your investment.
Tell me about yourself.
So as we have seen this video, we heard that the person first of all wishes or greets the person and then thanks for the opportunity. Then he is describing himself as, he has used various adjectives. The first one I remember was industrious, enthusiastic. So you have to sell yourself without voicing that I am here to give you a deep insight or something like that. So you should, every word you speak should scream out loud that hire me, I'm the best fitted candidate. So in the same manner, when you are introducing yourself, first of all, give your name and thanks for the opportunity. Then you can describe yourself, which type of a person. Take you to the next slide. Common interview question is, tell me about yourself. Here, if you want to answer this question, go from present to past to future. So from present, which type of a person I am, where I was working, how I used to behave, and what you will get in return if you will hire me, a positivity or an embrace, because I embrace changes. So you will not start from the past. I did my graduation from here, then I did my, no, what you are present today, the person is interested to know what you are today, not what you will be or what you were. So you have to interweave the whole thing so seamlessly that it is like, okay, present to past to future. Now mention your strength and weakness. Every person has strength and weakness. So you cannot avoid by saying this, I don't have any weaknesses and I don't see anything wrong with me. Please, why should we hire you is again a common interview question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? That's the most common question. Don't say I'll be the CEO of this company. That's a big red flag. Why do you want to work here? That's again a question. Why you have chosen our company? So you have to prepare these answers, because if you have done the research about the company, you can highlight 2 or 3 objectives or vision or goals of that company that aligns with your future. Now comes the next question, how to answer these 5 questions. Tell me about yourself. So you can start with a very brief professional overview. I'm an industrious worker who loves to take challenges or something like that. It should be relevant to the experience. He is not interested if you can take challenges in a ground or in a football ground or in a trip. It should be relevant to the experience or to the profile that you've applied for, and your skills should also be aligned to that. So tip is simple, go from present to past to future. Why should we hire you? Here you have to highlight your unique skills. The person Richard has highlighted that my skills are in sync with your company goals. My 5 years experience will help you to build this. So you have to align your skill and experience with the job requirement for which you are giving an interview. Strength and weakness. Please discuss genuine strength. If you are lazy, please don't say I am punctual. It will be reflected in a week. If you have weakness, never say this, okay, I am lazy, or my work is never completed on time, or I make some silly mistakes. The word you say silly mistakes, so mistakes is again a red flag. Then 5 year plan, if they say, where you'll see yourself after 5 years, so you can show the ambition that I want to do this, and your company gives this opportunity, which is reflected in your company page. So it is, and your goal, your company goals are such. For example, I want to work for this, and your company is involved in these type of projects. So that will give me an insight, and I see my professional growth in 5 years. And why do you want to work here? You mention the company strengths, their core value, and align it with your career goals. You should their core values, their vision, and it should be on your tips, and make sure it aligns with your skills, experience, and goals. Next is communication skills. It is the next STEM skill that is used in 21st century. As I am based out of Bengaluru, I can give you an insight. Last year in December, Wipro hired 40% of English graduates for technical jobs, as they believe we can we can train them. These days everybody is digitalized. We can train them on technical proficiency, but it is very difficult to train them on communication skills. So now Wipro, a company like Wipro, Infosys, they are hiring English graduates. So your communication skills these days, you cannot underestimate them. They can literally sail you through the best of the places. So effective verbal communication. Speak very clearly and very confidently. You should not fumble, you should not blabber, you should not high pitch your voice or something like that. Moderate pace. You are not riding a train, you are not missing out a train. So your pace has to be moderate, so that person is able to understand, analyze, introspect also. And please, there should be variation in the tonality of your voice. Please avoid monotony. I am Seema Malik. I am here for this job. I'll do this. I have 5 years of experience. I'll do this. Nobody's interested. After first sentence, nobody's paying heed to it. So your voice should be varied. It should have intonation. It should have stress to break the monotony of the atmosphere. As it is, interview processes are very gloomy. Just add a little color, a vibrance, a vibration through the tonality of your voice. Now, clear and concise responses. Structure your answers logically. STAR method is there for behavioral questions, and for other, you can always use any other method where you have to go from intro to experience to skill and to the outcome. Now, avoid rambling. No excessive details. Stick to the point. If a one-liner question is asked and you are expected answer is in 10 lines, please don't speak 2 pages. Then active listening. Pay heed. Listen. The moment you say, can you come again? I didn't get you. Can you repeat the question? It shows that you were analyzing something in your head and not paying attention to them. So be an active listener. Pay full attention. Use nodding. Okay. Use filler words. Okay. This shows that you are genuinely interested in listening to them and you are listening to them. Respond thoughtfully. Then give yourself a minute, a 30-second window to think and reply to the question. The moment they have spoken 4 words, you pick up the keyword and you start answering it. Please, that's a red flag. You show engagement, that you are involved in their conversation. You have listened to them by nodding, by using okay, got it, and then frame your question and respond thoughtfully. These are your communication skills, and that you need to brush up before you go for an interview. Next come behavioral questions. Behavioral questions are basically situation questions where you will be put up in a situation and they want to see how you react to it, how you take action on it, and what is the result of the same. So basically, it is used to predict your future behavior on the basis of your past experience. Basically, it is done for this is the sole purpose of asking a behavioral question. And typical phrases, questions for that is, tell me about a time when you did this. Or they can say, describe a situation where it is very hard to meet the deadline. So they'll ask, how do you manage your time and what was the outcome? Or they can ask you a challenge that you have faced while working with a team. So they want to check your team spirit. They want to check your team effort. They want to check your team building. So how did you address the issue that contributed to the team success? So for this, refers to STAR method. Now, non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is non-verbal cues that ooze from your body. If you know, your eyes speak, your mouth speaks, your hands, your fingers, the way you react, all these are non-verbal cues. So the body language is very important because it conveys confidence. It conveys professionalism. It conveys interest. Okay? Sound enthusiastic, have a relaxed smile, and through a positive entrance, it should be reflected. Maintain an eye contact. Here, eye contact doesn't mean you have to stare the person. You have to just look into the eye. Don't look through them. Look into the eye of a person. Steady eye contact. Don't have a roving eye looking here, there, up, down. Don't do this. This is a big no. Show attentiveness. Okay, you are listening to them. Maintain eye contact and engaged. For posture and gesture, use open palm. You will not use like this. Okay, and you are cracking fingers. No, these gestures, postures are a big no. Sit up straight, back straight, professional posture. Use a very firm handshake. Open palm hand gestures whenever you are emphasizing a point, and your feet should be flat on floor. Rather than tapping them, rather than putting on toes, going on heels, please put them on flat, because the more leg movement you do, that shows your nervousness and anxiety. Avoid that. Then comes your STAR method, the ones that is talked about. S stands for situation. They will always ask you a behavioral question. These days, asking a behavioral question is the most common thing. For example, I have applied for a post of a coordinator and they give me a situation. They tell me how you will handle if a problem occurs from nowhere. So how I'll answer this question. So I'll describe a situation. Once I sent my middle school children to a field trip and the bus broke down 15 minutes before the venue, before the area that was supposed to be. So the task here is I have to arrange another bus so that the children are transferred from the bus to another bus and they reach the venue safely. So I called up the school that is in that vicinity. They agreed to send a bus and the children were transferred to that bus and they reached venue not on time but within the fifth time frame that was comfortable for them. And the outcome was they enjoyed the field trip, they had a conversation, they had everything that was scheduled for them and they reached back to school safely. This is a behavioral question. So I have to give how quick I am to respond, how's my networking, how quick I am to deal with, how I rephrased or rescheduled things, and how I am felt responsible for the safety of the children. So these all things will speak volume. Then handling difficult question. Interview process is not a cakewalk. It is not easy. You will get to hear difficult questions, and there are certain strategies to answer these challenging questions. First of all, follow Baba Ramdev. Take a deep breath. Stay calm. Stay composed. If you are not able to comprehend the question, please ask. Ask for a clarification. Then use the TPS scheme. What is TPS? Think, pause, speak. So now you are not able to comprehend the question. You have asked the question again. Now you have to take a moment to think. Don't jump the gun. Then take a pause. Again, rephrase your answer and then start speaking. So it should be genuinely visible that you are gathering your thoughts, you are making an effort to answer this question. Never ever deflect a question. Never ever evade a question that is addressed to you directly. You address it back directly. Whatever little even information you have, please prepare an answer through TPS format and reply. How to weakness and strength question is very, very, very normal. Never address a weakness, a proper thing. Acknowledge a genuine weakness. It can be anything. Then you have to counter it by saying how you are working to improve it, how you are managing it. Then, thirdly, you have to show the victory attached to it, how it is helpful in your personal or professional growth and development. So, even if you are mentioning your weakness, it should be supported by the improvement process and how it is work in progress for your growth and development. So, you can use the PEN framework. You can mention a passion that is attached to it. And it has to be related to the job. They are not interested into anything that is not related to that job requirement they have. Then you can mention the experience that is relevant to that job and what is next. So what is next happening for your growth and development should be clearly visible through your answers. Next comes answering tricky questions. Greatest weakness. Never address my weaknesses. I have an area of improvement attached to this situation. And I'm already taking steps to improve it. You can always say, you can use these phrases also that are given. I focus too much on details. You can use these weaknesses. They are very generic, but they work. It's hard for me to letting go a project. I have a trouble saying no. I'm a very good person. I feel stressed if I run beyond deadlines. And I could use a lot of experience. I should go and ask questions more from experienced people. Or sometimes I have a little trouble in asking help. So all these are not big weaknesses. They are weaknesses that can be managed, that can be worked on, that can be improved. And obviously, they are related with your personal and professional growth and development. So you have to be smart while answering questions so that it works in your favor, not in their favor in rejecting you. Last, shall I ask questions or shall I not ask questions? See, these days, interview process is very interactive. So I'll suggest you to ask questions if it is thrown to you. Do you have any questions for us? Then please ask a question. At least ask one. So it shows that you are really interested in the job. It shows that you want to get more insight about the job profile so that you are able to make an informed decision. You are not just taking a hasty decision where you will change jobs frequently. No, you want to make a decision where you want to stick with it. So you can use this phrase. Sir, with your kind permission, I would like to know more about induction and development programs. Now it shows that you want this job and you want to know about the training programs, you want to know about the development programs because you want to professionally grow with this company. It gives a very clear impression about job responsibilities and expectation. For that clear understanding, you can always ask, sir, with your kind permission, I would like to know more. What is the key responsibility attached to this position? Never ever you will ask about salary, perks, annual leave, compulsory leave, casual leave, pay cut, nothing doing. This is for HR, leave it for HR. And please don't jump the gun. Don't say the day I'll join the company, I'll do this, I'll do that. Please avoid that. Nobody is interested to know. Your work should be reflected, not spoken about. What to ask and how to ask. Can you describe the company cultures and values? I want to know more about it. And how does teams basically collaborate on project? It is inter level or it is done by one particular whether it is finance or finance people is only dealing with it. So you can always ask, for example, if you are in a college, you can say, is it art integrated or it is multi-subject people will come from different levels and join. So you can ask anything. Job expectation. What are the key responsibilities to this role? I want to know I have a charter of duties. I can see that. But what is one key responsibility? And where is the company? What are the company's plans regarding future and development? Is the company opening various other branches across India or in the world? And how are you going to evaluate me? How are you going to assess my performance? How you are going to review my performance? This is a very valid question that gives you a glimpse of the ACR that will be written for you. So you must ask, and how to ask is these are the 5-6 ways that I have given you here. Next is very important. Why post-interview questions is must. It shows your interest in the position. It creates a lasting impression. First impression you have created, now create a last impression. And it gives you an opportunity if they ask any follow-up question. So then you have asked, now you can frame an answer out of this only. Once you are saying thank you, out of the door, out of the office door, out of the main building, you reach home. Always send an email within 24 hours of your interview. Express your gratitude for the opportunity. Again, thank them for it. Highlight any key point. I learned this. I came to have an insight about this. That was a very valuable piece of advice you gave there. So highlight it. And again, reiterate your interest in the job and in the role. Then follow. For example, generally, when you come out of the interview room, the person who is maintaining the interview profile, they say, we'll get back to you. That's a very casual statement, which is very difficult to decipher. So if they have given, we'll get back to you in a week, please wait for the expected time frame. Please don't jump the gun. Don't ask, call them, bother them. Wait for the expected time frame. If that expected time frame is out, you can send a very polite email and ask about the status of your selection. That you can do and you should do, so that you get an insight and you are not stressed about waiting for it. So now the conclusion part. So I always believe that we should always have a takeaway from any type of a workshop, a training session, or a webinar. So here the takeaway was for, I guess, is that interview skills are very crucial in today's job environment, job search. You need to prepare. You should sound professional, and communication is the key to break. Practice a lot. Your self-confidence play a major role in the process. If you are not able to crack that interview, don't give up. Don't lose hope. You'll be able to crack the next one. So keep on honing your interview skills. Seek feedback from people. Learn from each and every experience. Stay persistent. Don't stop chasing your dreams. Don't stop chasing a good opportunity. Adapt yourself for various interview types, for various situations that were given to you and you are not able to crack it. Don't give up. Continuous practice and improvement is a stepping stone in the success. Now, just a small recap for all of you. So, preparation, company's research, dress smartly, body language, smile, competency and behavioral question, give examples from your previous experience, read your CV, read your resume beforehand, so that if they ask questions generally in IS and so read it very well. Hypothetical questions. So how to handle a irritated customer or something like that. What is your USP? Your skill. Which skill is your USP? Which experience is your USP? And be ready for asking question also. Which type of training I'll receive? And all these things. So this is all from my side. Now it is open for all. Do you have any questions for me? Anybody? I'm here to answer all questions. Yes.
Thank you so much, madam, for wonderful presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Today's session start. Thank you, madam, for wonderful session.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Today's session started at 9:03 and it
Yes, sir.
completed within 9:03. So perfect time, 60 minutes. So thank you so much for your wonderful lecture. Now I request
Thank you.
dear participants, if you have any query or would like to share or discuss with madam, please come ahead, dear participants.
हेलो नमस्ते मैडम.
हाँ जी, नमस्ते.
मैडम मेरे दो क्वेश्चन है. एक
हाँ जी.
इस शोध के लिए जब कोई शोधार्थी शोध करता है उसके लिए सबसे अच्छा इंटरव्यू कौन सा है, और दूसरा किसी घटना यानी दुर्घटना में पीड़ित से इंटरव्यू के लिए कौन सा इंटरव्यू उपयोगी रहेगा?
सर सबसे पहला जिसमें शोध आपने बताया रिसर्च करता है कोई, तो रिसर्च एकेडमिक फॉर्म में आता है. सो एकेडमिक जॉब के लिए कोई भी इंटरव्यू नहीं सूटेबल होता है. सिर्फ एक जो सबसे बेहतर होता है वो है पैनल इंटरव्यूज, क्योंकि पैनल इंटरव्यू में आपका सब्जेक्ट एक्सपर्ट भी होगा, आपका प्रिंसिपल भी होंगे, आपका काउंसलर भी होगा. सो रिसर्च वर्क कोई भी एकेडमिक, चाहे वो आप प्रोफेसर हो, रिसर्चर हो, स्कॉलर हो, पैनल इंटरव्यूज. और सेकंड आपने कहा कि अगर कोई पीड़ित है तो उसके साथ कौन सा इंटरव्यू करें. सर उसके साथ 1-to-1 इंटरव्यू करना होता है. हमें भीड़ का हिस्सा नहीं बनना होता है. पहले हमें उसे सिचुएशन में काम डाउन करके उससे फेस टू फेस इंटरव्यू करते हैं ताकि हम उनके रिएक्शंस के हिसाब से क्वेश्चन पूछ सकें. आई होप मैंने आपका आंसर ठीक थी.
थैंक यू मैडम.
थैंक यू.
धन्यवाद मैडम.
धन्यवाद. एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
So,
Dr.
Seema,
Hanji?
Yes, Malti madam, please.
yeah, so Seema, first of all, thank you so much for the rich content and the presentation today. I loved it thoroughly. I just, I'm an HR person myself, and, we used to conduct a lot of panel interviews. So, during the technical rounds, especially, we used to also conduct the Myers-Briggs test, which are the kind of, what do we say, personality tests. Then also we used to conduct certain aptitude tests for certain level of positions. So if you could also give us little highlight or highlight those points as well, it will be really nice for the participants.
Okay, thank you, Malti. Thanks for the question. So these days, if you are applying, for example, I'll give you a very basic insight. These are from a corporate sector where you have paper pen test also. These days, you have all these tests. So for example, if a 12th grader is applying in a college, so these days they have to give essay test to check their proficiency in a language is also done. Then they have to go through a personality test where they are assessed on different performer, whether the infrastructure that is with us is the person going to use this infrastructure. For example, I'll give you a very basic example from US. So US universities have state-of-the-art infrastructure. So when they ask you about your profile information, what you give in your resume, they ask you to give a pen picture also, where your personality is reflected through various activities, certificates, and interests are listed, your passion and hobbies. So apart from your scores, apart from your result, apart from clearing the entrance, they want to see whether you are going to use this infrastructure or not. Same goes with the corporate sector. For example, they are corporates or any other institution, they are ever evolving. The environment keeps on changing. So are you a rigid person? For that, they do a personality test, or they want to check whether you are having interpersonal skills or not. See, two things will never change dynamics, whatever be the dynamics, two things that will never change in the corporate sector, private sector, or government sector in interview: your interpersonal skills and your communication skills. They have to be top notch, irrespective of your professional knowledge or competency. I hope I have answered your question.
Yeah, thank you, Seema. Thank you.
Thank you, Malti. Anyone else? Any other question, please?
Dr. Swanal Shukla, sir.
Okay.
Hello, good evening, Dr. Bedkar sir, Principal sir, Prashant sir, and good evening, ma'am. Wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
You have about the etiquettes. You have talked about the, the dress code, what kind of dress code we should maintain, and the how to present oneself, how to ask questions. What kind of questions you should expect, and how to react to the unexpected questions also. So most of the aspect you have covered wonderfully. I just remember one of the. I went as a expert to the UPSC board to take interview of the doctors at Delhi, and I remember the problems what you have said. They are the real problems what you are talking about, and I've seen some people wear costume maybe little older for them, and it was fitting too tight, and the blazer was too tight, and the abdomen was peeping out of the blazer like a caterpillar or something like that. So it becomes so odd, and when we sit, at one corner and we are observing them when they enter in the room, so it becomes too odd. So yes, definitely the costume is wonderful thing that one should think of. Wear comfortable costume, and it should be a decent professional costume. This is what a correct thing what you have said. I have seen some people are very abrupt in their answers. Yes. They are not talking about yes, no, and if they are not knowing, they abruptly says nothing, or no, and they keep staring. So this kind of odd situations comes, and the person sitting at the interview means who's taking interview also, he also get puzzled now what to do with this person. So how to avoid such if you are giving interview, how to avoid this situation. And if I'm taking interview, how I should make that person comfortable, maybe sometimes the anxiety build or some problems are there, no doubt. Psychology is there with us. So how to make that person comfortable, because he may have some good talent within himself, and how to tap that talent, it is that is also one very important part you have to see. So how to make them comfortable, that is my question. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. For this, basically, there is an art of asking questions. I have earlier taken a webinar on that also, how to ask questions that make the person comfortable. For example, if you are an interviewer and the person is answering in yes and no, so then you have to ask open-ended questions. So open-ended questions will give a space to the person to answer in detail. So basically, you have to for example, if you are, you have to give space to the person to answer it. You have to derive answers from them. So आपको ऐसे questions पूछने हैं जिससे कि वो खुद introspect करें और खुद उसका answer दें. Secondly, you can ask them rating questions, like if a person is only answering yes or no. So you can give them a situation. What do you think about this? How will you rate it on a scale of 10? So you are giving them they will score 5. So then you can ask another open-ended question. What made you reach to 5? Why have you given a 5 scorer? So the person can't give you an open, close-ended answer, yes or no. He has to elaborate. For example, if I am an interviewee and I am only giving yes or no, the person sitting in front of me is totally agitated, and I am not a monologue person where I'm just speaking on and on and on. So here I have to describe a situation. So there I have to reflect my strength, my experience, and my skills. I hope I have answered your question, sir.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much for wonderful presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Any other questions?
Madam,
Hanji?
let me ask,
Hanji.
what is the purpose of letter of application to get an interview, whether it is needed or not? And
Sir,
if
could you
it is
please repeat your question? What is the?
whether there is a need of letter of application to get an interview.
Sir, what is the need you want to ask, or what is the requirement are you asking, basically? Chances? Sir, you are not audible. You are not audible, sir. Hanji.
Madam, what is the purpose of letter of an application to get an interview?
Okay, for an application to get an interview, see, sir, if you have, for example, if you apply, there are various. We have resumes, we have profiles, we have CVs, and all three things are different. Resumes for corporate sector or private sectors, and CVs are basically for academic purpose. So, cover letter, if you are writing, then it should write, you have to write something that is not mentioned in your resume. If you are just copying paste the same things in the cover letter, so then there are hardly any chances that you will get a call for an interview. So your application should cover your skill that are suitable for the job that you are applying. So highlight yourself, that every skill that you are mentioning should scream that hire me, I am the right person for this right job.
One more thing is there, madam. One more thing, that when we write an application, some mistakes will be there in that letters.
Yes,
so
sir.
what is the impact and how it affect to the personalities in front of the interview?
So the moment it is grammatical error, it shows that you are not proficient in the language. The moment it is, you have written too big, basic, the way to write an application is big, small, big, or two smalls and one big paragraph. So your first paragraph has to be small, 4-liners to maximum 5-liners. Your second paragraph should have 8 lines. And again, your last paragraph should be having 4 lines. So this is the format of writing an application. Secondly, you should write in very simple language. Please don't use any flowery language. Don't test your vocabulary. Write in a layman language so that even a 10-year-old can understand what you have written there. Thirdly, if you are using very normal basic words, go check for a synonym, write a synonym of the same word. It will enhance the level of your application, the level of your cover letter, that okay, this person has made an effort. See, from the application only the person can judge whether you are serious about this job or not, whether you have made an effort to write it or not, or whether you are proficient enough or capable to handle this job or not. Anji sir, anything else?
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else having any questions? Floor is open to all. I think.
Thank you so much, Honorable Jaivir Singh sir, Malti Pillai madam, our sincere personality, Dr. Swanan Shukla sir, for asking a nice queries, and ma'am have answered it very nicely. So thank you so much. Now I request the chief organizer of the series, our ideal principal, sir, please come ahead and shout some words for today's session. Please welcome.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir, for making me a part of this world record. I'm truly honored, and it was nice being a part of this. And I hope I have provided some insights and information that will be useful for all. Thanks for the opportunity, sir. Good evening, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now I move towards the vote of thanks. Shri Kumarswami, Mahavidyalaya, Ausa, District Latur. As we know, organized well record series 2. Today we have completed 261st day of the series. And the keynote speaker for today's session was with us for last 1.5 hours, that Honorable Seema Malik ma'am, who talked about the topic, that is interview skills, where madam have explained all those details regarding the interview skills. Now there is no need to revise all those points, but the lecture was very sincere. Ma'am have perfectly made a trainer to all of us to appear for an interview, because he is a coach and also a communication trainer. So no points have left regarding today's topic. Ma'am have covered all the aspects regarding the interview skills. So thank you so much, madam. On behalf of the organizing committee members, I thank the chief organizer of the series, Honorable Principal Ambedkar sir. Also thanks the faculty members of my college, Honorable Praveen Udge sir, and others, sincere personalities and regularly joining participants, Jaivir Singh sir, Malki Pillai ma'am, and Dr. Swanan Shukla sir, who always join the series on time and ask nice queries, also share some thoughts in the series. So thanks to you, and I should not forget all those dear participants who join the series regularly and motivates us and enhance the beauty of the series. So thanks to you all once again. Heartily thanks once again to Seema madam. You paid your valuable time to the series and presented a nice lecture among us. So thank you so much. I would like to request, please fill the